Hey everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at a farm for wheat, carrots, potatoes, and beetroot that is automatic and works in the newest version of Minecraft, which is 1.10.2 currently, but should also work in versions above that, unless villager mechanics get changed entirely. So what you can see right here is a villager that is harvesting away at wheat, and if you are a smart eye, you can see that the wheat grows quite rapidly, and that is because I increased my tick speed. If you want to know how that works, you just type in /game rule and then random. You just have to type in a ran and then press the tab button and it will autocomplete, and then a number of, let's say, maybe 1,000 or 10,000, and that will increase how fast crops grow and all sorts of different things that are determined by ticks. Alright, I increased it for demonstration purposes only, and if you are planning on doing so, also bear in mind that you are changing quite a bit in the game. Cool, let's take a look at how this machine works. The villager harvests all of the crops and then replants them, and somehow only the wheat and the seeds end up on the ground without him picking up any, and then they are being collected by this minecart right here, and they are transported into this chest like so. I've already got tons of wheat just from, let's say, 20 minutes when I built this machine. So this works quite well, and you can expand it to any size you want. I would stay in the limits of maybe 10 by 10 because I think the villager has a maximum of crops that he can fill up or that he can harvest, so to say. So if you have a field over there, that wouldn't be of any use with this villager because he just cannot see it. Alright, let's get to building this. It's really quite simple. All you need to do is lay out a track. I am doing a 5x5 field right now, but as I said, you can make it as large as you want if you stay in some boundaries. I'm not exactly sure of the entire of the exact numbers, but you know, you'll find out when you fiddle around with it a little more. Alright, if you lay down your tracks somewhat like this and then do some curves like this, you should end up with something that looks a little bit like a snail or maybe a snake that is curling around here, and you have every block passable by the hopper minecart you have. And it is important to take a look at the direction you face your tracks. Now you can see the direction right here. This is east and that is west, and that's where the tracks will face. Not by default, apparently they will face north and south, but if you try to build it this way, the tracks will connect and it's all just a bit messy. So I would suggest building it in the direction I did it, which is east and west on the other side. Alright, so now you need to activate all of your powered rails, and you can simply do that by taking some redstone torches or levers or anything else that can activate these rails. Redstone blocks would also work, but I'm just using redstone torches right now, and I'm going beneath the blocks here, and the blocks will then get powered, which will then send power through to these powered rails, so they are active, which is what we need. Let's fill in the holes again so nobody can see them, and what we need to do here now is add in one more of the regular rails, and then we will go out like this. Place a block, no, actually let's place a hopper here, and this is the collection pad for the hopper minecart that we have down here. It is not any useful if we just have that running down there without a collection zone, because as you can see, the hopper minecart only has 5 inventory slots, and these can fill up really quickly if you don't empty them quite often. So now you have the powered rail on this hopper, and you need a system that detects whether or not there are items in the hopper minecart, and we can simply do that by placing down a redstone comparator, then a block right here with a torch on top. I just removed that from my inventory, but that's fine. And then we'll place a block right here and another one there, and redstone on top. So what is happening here is when there's an item in this hopper, this comparator will sense it. Let's put one in, and it will shut off this torch, which will not power this block anymore, which will of course then also unpower this redstone, meaning that the powered rail right here is off, and the minecart will stay on here until there's no more item in the hopper, which will then send the minecart back flying onto its rail again. Now we need to have a block right here so the minecart doesn't fly off, and we also need one here so it comes back and doesn't fly off also. Okay, this is pretty much our collection zone. All we need now is to add a chest right here, and then we are good to build the field above. So what we do for that is we just collect some dirt, just regular dirt, nothing special, and make sure to place the dirt right above your tracks. So don't leave a space of 2 blocks, just right above. The best way to do it, if you're not sure, is just to face the tracks and then place your block, and you will be good to have placed your dirt like this. Okay, now what we need is to water our field, and you will need to fiddle around a little bit with this, because as I have an odd amount of fields, I can only use 2 sources, or I have to use 2 sources, because water only hydrates the fields that are 4 blocks from either direction. So 4 in that direction, 4 in that, and 4 in that, and 4 in that. You might as well place it in the middle, but you will have wasted 1 space of farming land, I guess. So I like to place it on either side of the borders, and then let's place another one right here, and make sure to encase it nicely so you don't mess up any of your redstone. Okay, let's place a slab right here, because the chest won't open if we put a full block there, and we can do that like this, and another block right here just to encase the water. And let's get that in here also, and then we should be set if I have done everything correctly. And don't worry if you've done a small mistake, it doesn't really matter. You can always just make it better. I guess, yeah. So once you're all done, grab your hoe and then plow all the fields so that they look like this. And what you can then do is take some glass or anything else. If you want to watch your villager harvest away, you will have to use glass or something that encases the villager so he cannot run out. Or if you don't want to see him and just want to have him hidden below the ground, for example, you can just use any other block that you want. Just keep in mind not to use glass panes or something, because items might slip through the edge and then they will be lost forever. But if you like aesthetic purposes, I can totally understand why you would want to use glass panes or iron bars. But this will have to do for now. This guarantees full efficiency of the farm. So now what you have to do, and this is probably the hardest part of the farm, is grab a villager, and for that I suggest building a villager breeding pen, because you need a special type of villager, which is a farmer, and farmers don't look like this. This would be considered a butcher. If you open their inventory, you can see that this guy is an armorer, but you can also tell by their outer appearance. The first one had a white coat, this one now has a black coat, and we're looking for a villager that is completely brown, just like that one. So let's try to get one. There we go. And it doesn't even matter if this would say fisherman or farmer, they just have to have a brown coat, and then they will be able to harvest crops. Now, there's the trick. The villager right here does not pick up any of the wheat. It does pick up seeds at some point because it fills up his inventory, but the wheat will always stay on the ground, and that is because we filled up all of his inventory slots with seeds. He has 8 inventory slots, and if we give him 8 stacks of seeds, he has no more space to put the wheat. You can probably, I didn't even count that one, you can probably understand it better when you put yourself in this situation. If you are in survival and your inventory is full, you cannot pick up anything apart from the stuff that is already in your inventory and not a complete stack. So let's take a look. I didn't count the amount of stacks I gave him. You should do that, but he will just leave the rest on the ground if he doesn't pick it up. And then just make sure to push him into the pen safely, because they like to run away at some point, so better be quick or keep him in a minecart. Just keep him secure. And now he glitched through the block. That is not good, but let's get him back up. That was quite weird now, so be careful, as I said. Alright, there we are. Took quite some rails, but it worked eventually, and you can just remove them after you're done and nobody will notice anything. Whew. whew, it also took some tries for me, so don't you worry. And if your villager keeps glitching out, maybe you would want to restart your Minecraft client. Just close Minecraft and then reopen it, and you should be good. Alright, now you can see him planting away some seeds, which is quite nice. Just make sure that he does not empty out one inventory slot entirely. That means 64 seeds cannot be planted all at once, because then he might have the chance to pick up some wheat, and that will ruin your farmers, so to say. So make sure to plant your field beforehand if it's larger than 8 by 8 blocks. Okay, now you can see him harvesting away. The only thing that's missing now is a storage minecart and a block right here, which I removed. I'm sorry about that. A hopper minecart, I mean, not a storage minecart. There we go. And we can place them right there. And it will start collecting all the crops that this villager is harvesting. And as we can see, it works quite nicely, and it unloads all the wheat it has collected in this chest, which is super amazing to watch. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching. If you have some more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you want to see a villager breeder that will get you villagers really quickly, click this box right here. Alright, see you next time. Bye bye.